Marshmallow Fanboy back with another review, this time of a 3D custom printed G.I. Joe Jump that I got from Etsy seller Maysterchief. That's Maysterchief, Maysterchief, which was very cool. It was already assembled. I just put a couple of pieces on there. I put these in. These are sort of containers that come out if you want to. There's also a post that you put in, and it can hold this post I put into the base, and it holds the sort of the original arm cannon that Grand Slam had as part of his rig. It had like a cord that went to his backpack, I think, if I remember right. And the rest of it came like this. He has several different colors. Oops, there they come. I dumped the canisters out. It comes in several different colors, like a bright green, the regular army green. This is the one that I got. A tan and a gray. But he puts on all of the stickers himself. These aren't stickers, they're raised. They're sculpted on there. You can feel them. I don't know what he does to paint them in. That's white underneath the green. And that's on top. The G.I. Joe is on top. So it's not a sticker. And it looks painted. It looks like maybe he painted it, or maybe he has something that paints stuff. The pad adjust. It could have been like just something with a little paint on it, and then he pushed it and it just caught the whatever was sticking out. But that's raised too. The star on the side is raised. The flag is raised. It could be the flag was a separate piece and maybe he pasted it. I'm not sure. Everything is sculpted here also in different colors. That's very cool. Yeah, it's super cool. And it looks just like the original. Underneath, no moving parts. I believe no moving parts. No moving parts. But very cool. It's meant to house anybody with a jetpack. Of course, jetpack not included, which is cool because the figures that have jetpacks, they're supposed to go right onto the post there, and then whatever weapon they have, this goes through the trigger guard, the little post here. But for now, I have the sort of the original kind of arm cannon from Flash, which came with this. It's not something that I whipped up or anything. I don't custom print anything. I don't have a 3D printer. But this is really cool. Actually, I'm not even sure how you would have done this with a 3D printer because of the paint. The paint applications are so specific and so nice. And these things are just raised up. So it wasn't like he just stenciled it on there. It's like I said, like maybe, yeah, I have no idea. I can't do the math on that. As for Starduster, he was a Hasbro Pulse exclusive at one of their cons or one of their events, and I haven't opened him. I got one of him. He sold out right away, which was too bad because a lot of people kind of wanted him. And he comes with the jetpack, which is why I'm pairing him with the Jump. He has a dual kind of rockets down here, which is really cool. I wish there was kind of a little stand, like a G.I. Joe stand, maybe like a blast stand. I don't know. I don't actually know if it ends in... No, it sort of ends in tips. I see. But it would have been cool if it went all the way to the bottom. There are things on Etsy that are like blast stands where anything with a thruster effect can sort of take off. Like, I'm thinking about like the Cobra Claw or the Trouble Bubble, things like that. But that's very cool. Of course, he has a cap and binoculars, a pistol, shotgun, a knife. He has a holster. I don't know, or an extra holster. Oh no, that's a weapon of some kind. Kind of fist and an open hand, a helmeted visage. So we're gonna look at all of that, and of course, the back is very cool. Nice picture. It has a bunch of Cobra fangs, so I imagine we're going to get fangs eventually. We're going to get those, but I don't know when. But they wouldn't just stick that in there and kind of go, that's not going to pay off later. They're building a world. And I imagine those fangs are coming as soon as they have the next sort of Hasbro Pulse exclusive event. I don't know that for sure. I'm hoping. I'm just hoping. But, the Steel Brigade guys have jetpacks also. So they would have been great to open also, but I chose Starduster because I haven't opened him yet. I've never owned a Starduster. And of course, it's basically Duke with a jetpack. But they renamed him Starduster. And it's cool because he comes with the original, like that logo there. That Duke comes with it right on his chest. But I think Duke's might be on the other side or something. I don't know. Might be a mirror image or something. So I'm not quite sure what's going on there. But of course he has the binoculars and the pistol. It just is very Duke-like. It's very, very much like Duke, which is fine. I don't care. Starduster is canon. Starduster absolutely exists. So we've gone beyond repaint with Starduster. We're in canon. So I'm good. So why don't we get this thing out? We take a closer look at it with the jump. I kind of already looked at the jump in detail, so we don't need to sort of go through that again. But I would love to put Starduster on the platform, plug in the backpack, see what all the things are, and let's do that. Let's take a closer look. Now that Starduster is out of the package, and frankly the jump was out of the package from the beginning. Let's take a closer look at Starduster. Let's start with his gear. The gear that he's not wearing, the extra gear, is this cereal box. It was on the back of his card. If you take it all the way out, you unpunch it. It was really easy to put together. I had some Gorilla Glue, so I just threw a little Gorilla Glue on there and sealed it up. I had to do the bottom with Gorilla Glue too, because that wasn't staying, well, it was staying put, but it wasn't standing up. And then I thought, well, I'll solve this. I'll put this flat, but it is flat, but it's crooked, so it just falls right over. But that is glued at the bottom. I just didn't do such a hot job probably, which is fine. It's a cereal box, and it's probably not going to be perfect, but yeah, that's amazing. I remember the Action Stars cereal. From the moment it came out, I ate nothing but Action Stars cereal until, that went away. But of course, he has, in addition to the weapons wielding hands, he has 2 fists for getting into the sky. See the other one? And he has a pointer hand. We can issue orders. Hey, Cobra's over there. Let's get him. Then he has a holding hand. And I didn't know if the holding hand was maybe for the cereal box, but it doesn't quite fit around the box. I'm sure you could get it around by creasing the box, or by maybe making the hand a little bit bigger. Let me see if I can... No, that thumb is still coming in a little bit short. Let me see if I can stretch this out and get that in there. Nah. I suppose you could if you really did, but eventually those fingers close up and the box flips right out of there. So it's sort of a holding hand, but an indistinct holding hand. I'm not sure what it would be holding on to. Of course, the cereal box. And an extra helmet that makes him more of a kind of an army builder, maybe. I doubt it. I think Skyduster's outfit is real unique. So I think this is just a helmet for him, and it's not meant to be an army builder or a steel core guy. And of course, the helmet's not a helmet. You have to take the head off and put that on. He does have a helmet, though, that is going to be a little like Steeler's helmet. I wonder if they started with Starduster and they thought, if this works out with Starduster, we have a helmet that goes well on Steeler, and now we're getting a Steeler. So maybe they were working up to that. Of course, Starduster comes with the obligatory backpack. I don't know if it's obligatory. I don't know but the first version did come with it. It was part of the glamour of it, was it came with a jetpack. Comes with the effects, which you don't have to have in if you don't want to. Comes with a knife that I put into the holster here. Comes with a pistol that I put into the holster here. Comes with that animated series laser rifle, which is very cool. I would love to have a lot more of these. I would love to replace, you know, a lot of the weapons with these. With the retro series, a lot of the Joes are coming with those though. So there's a lot of Joes I can replace those and give them the laser rifles. So a grenade launcher for his other hand. I didn't bother putting the finger through the trigger guard on that one, but I did with the laser rifle. Of course, the binoculars here, they're easy to put on, and they're already pre-curved, so they hang on his chest naturally. And the helmet, which the first time I took the helmet off, the whole head came with it. Let me see if I can work it off without doing that. So the visor comes up and down. You can pull that up, pull that back down, and then it's basically Steeler. So very cool. I shouldn't say that. He's his own character. But, you know, I got Steeler on the mind because they just revealed him at Comic-Con, and I'm really excited about that 2-pack that Steeler comes in. And I did order the Hunter tank from Ramen Toy. Comes with the jetpack, which is very cool. Has the G.I. Joe star on there. Very cool, of course, with the ports that take the thruster effects. That's really nice. Starduster has a really nice paint scheme, and it's pretty much the original paint scheme, which was that real light blue with that really light tan all throughout. The pattern here, kind of the camouflage, the darker blue and everything, and the dark hair Duke's pin here, the airborne pin. I think that's an airborne pin. The grenade, very, very much like the original was basically a repaint of Duke. So I like that this one's basically a repaint too. I don't even know if they changed the likeness or they just slapped black hair on Duke and maybe made a few stray hairs right at the top so that it wouldn't look so much like Duke, so sort of disciplined. It would look a little unruly there. I wouldn't doubt it. It probably wouldn't doubt it to put it past them. The grenade launcher, for the most part, I think that's Gung Ho's grenade launcher. And the laser rifle is very cool. The box of cereal is super cool. The box of cereal is great. And that is Starduster. I'm going to move him over so we can get a little bit of a better look at the G.I. Joe Jump. Now the platform is very cool. The rivets are all raised. So standing can be a little bit of a problem, but he didn't put any action figure pegs in, which is fine. You kind of don't want them. You sort of don't want that to limit your ability to put more Joes on there or less Joes, or where those Joes should stand. Like I said at the beginning, all of this stuff is raised. It's very cool. I couldn't put the this original sort of laser rifle on Starduster. Where I put the hand in here, this cuff that goes around the arm was not flexible at all, and I didn't want to break it off trying to get it onto his arm. But the way that it lined up was right on the cuff of his arm, where it's a little bit thicker here. So I just couldn't get it to click. But if I have a character with a thinner arm, I could try that. But I wouldn't risk it with another one. And I don't know if this is a weapon or what that is exactly. But I'm pretty sure it was a weapon on the first one because it was the only thing that kind of came with Grand Slam. That kind of felt like it was a weapon, and it was connected to his jetpack and stuff. So I don't know. Maybe it's a stabilizer or. No, it has like a little cannon in the front. I think it's a weapon. I'm gonna leave it that way. But the backpack does clip onto the hole in the thing. You just press it in a little bit, and boom, that thing is there, and it's ready to deploy. As far as the post, you can put something more character specific in there. This little piece goes right through a trigger guard, I think. And boom, you've got the laser rifle you know, close at hand. So this is from Etsy seller Maysterchief. That's Maysterchief on Etsy. He does 3D printing, and he does a lot of G.I. Joe classified stuff. So this is just a way to plus up your collection if you're looking for a jump kit. I know Gridiron Studios has a jump kit, or they had one. I don't know if they've discontinued it. Sometimes Gridiron discontinues different things that aren't selling well. Maybe they sold through on those and went, we're gonna move on to other stuff. And oh my god, did I tell you about Gridiron's loadouts for like the Stinger and the Vamp? You could literally make like 18 different configurations of the vehicles. It's nuts. It's nuts. But it's awesome. And so is this. This is awesome also. I'm happy to have it. I was happy not to have to wait for it till Hasbro put it out. I don't know. I don't know what it is about getting it. I was already getting the Whirlwind, and I reviewed that in a separate video, and I just threw the Jump in for some reason. The Jump was one of my favorite things, and the Whirlwind was something that I really loved, but I either didn't have it. I think I had the flat cannon, and my friend had the Whirlwind. I don't remember ever having the Whirlwind. But I'm super happy to have it. I'm super happy to have Starduster and the Jump. And this is my first experience with Starduster. It's my first time having the action figure. So hopefully you can get a hold of it. And you should be able to get a hold of the Jump on Etsy. Either from Maysterchief, who I recommend, because this is just, all the paint is just amazing. Or, you know, there are other sellers, but I'm not sure about them. I've never used them. So, anywho, until next time, enjoy your toys.